Okay, the point of today's video, I am going to try to demonstrate a little closer to what I do with my software that I use for flying. As I get better with the software, with the editing software, I have figured out how to get these iPads up on the screen so you'll be able to see better, step by step, what I do. And let me try to get that started. I figured out how to get these things to record. Control center, there's a record button. I hit record, 3, 2, 1, it's recording. I'm going to do this one the same way. Control center, record. That one's recording, and that one's recording. Okay, so then just go back to the regular screen. And for now, you can see it's pretty foggy right now on my windscreen. I want to taxi down. I'm coming down, Gary. Okay, we'll taxi down here. And then I'll explain a little bit about what I'm going to do. I haven't done anything with the screens yet, as far as flight plan or anything like that. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what I go through once I get the engine started. All I did was turn the iPads on. And there's a connection. I made sure they were connected to iLevel, which is the software I use. I have an iLevel, they call it an AP3, I believe. AP3, AP standing for autopilot. It's a system, it's got an AHRS in it, attitude, heading, and reference system, that feeds these iPads to give it permission, position information and flight information and all that. So first thing I do is I turn everything on, and on this one I've got Level, Aviation's own software. On the top I have my autopilot control head. In the middle I have traffic. It shows me where traffic is. And then on the bottom I use a vertical speed. You don't have to do this. I could have just two things here and have autopilot and traffic, but I like having my vertical speed. I've been playing around with some stalls and some other things recently, and I just enjoy having that handy. And then over here is my PFD, my pilot flight display. It gives me all my flying information as far as direction, wings level, climb, descend, altitude, heading, ground speed, everything. First thing I do on here is I select my barometric pressure, and I put in my current barometric pressure. Today's 3018, and I apply, and then that allows me to set anything else. Let's say I'm going to go down at 3,000 feet. I set my altitude in that box right there. I just tap on 3,000 on the altitude. That screen comes up, and I'm able to put in 3,000 and select it. Same thing with the heading. I don't put in a heading yet, because what I'm going to do is over here on this side, I'm going to push flight plan, which is this bottom left button here, and I'm not going to portage today. I had a portage, so what I'm going to do is clear this flight plan. There's nothing in there, so there's a button that says enter flight plan. I'm going to push that, and then I just type in where I'm going. Today we're going to Carroll County. I happen to know that Carroll County is TSO, and you can see it says Carroll County right there. You select it. If I didn't know it was TSO, I could just type in Carroll County, and it would find it for me. Now it's asking me, okay, so that's where I'm going. But where am I starting from? Well, I'm starting from Carl. I've got a waypoint in here called Carl. That's our place, and right there it is, Carl. And now, but see, I've got them in the wrong order. I've got Carroll County on top, and I'm going to Carl. So I can just push this little settings button on the side, and it says. It has different options: set altitude, set name, insert waypoint before, remove this waypoint, change point, move up. I'm just going to move it up. Now Carl's on top, Carroll County's below. I can, over here to the right is the thing that says set altitude. I told it I was going to go to 3,000 on my other side. I'll put 3,000 there. Boom. Close. And now I've got a line that goes to Carroll County. And it goes at 3,000. And what I'm going to do over here on this side is I'm going to do the exact same thing in that same software. I just select the software, I hit flight plan, There's a way you can do this too where they mesh and they go together. I just haven't set it up. Let me clear that flight plan. Enter flight plan. I'm starting at Carl. I'm going to do it the other way this time. Starting at Carl. There it is. Add waypoint. TSO is Carroll County. TSO is Carroll County. Add that. Hit my altitude, 3,000. And what I'm doing there is I'm giving, there's my line to Carroll County at 3,000. Okay, it's telling me it's 40.6 miles. The heading that I'm going to be using is 182 degrees. So that's when I come back to this heading right here on top, and I go 182. I hit apply, and 182 shows up, and it gives me a heading bug at 182 on my flight information. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of it. That gets me ready to go fly for my destination. It's real simple. What I can do though on this side, and I can do it on the other side too, I just like to do it over here because it's close, is I can go back to my routing software. This is iFly EFB, electronic flight bag. I hit tools and I hit checklists. Now I've done all this, but I'll just go back and show you. I have a pre-flight checklist. All of that's done. I've done all the pre-flight. Then there's a starting engine. I did all that. A taxiing. Canopies latched, seat belts are fastened, altimeter set, instruments are checked, taxi lights. You can see as I check them off, they check off as I tap them. Parking brake is off, brakes and steering are checked. Then it goes to the next checklist, which is before takeoff. Oh, I didn't do my electrical check. This is why you do checklists. I do my electrical check real quick. Checking pumps. I'm checking my batteries to make sure everything's working. That's checked. Fuel pumps are checked. Coolant temperature is 163. It needs to be a minimum of 125. It's good. I checked my flight controls earlier. Set the flaps. They're set. That's a switch right here, and I can just watch them go down. Transponder to altitude is set. Engine instruments are all checked. Fuel pressure is good. Oil temperature is good. Oil pressure is good. That's good. Departure brief, we're going to the south, and we're going to 3,000 feet. Fuel quantity, I checked it. There's 18.5 gallons on board, and my instruments are set. Flight instruments are set. So that's complete. Takeoff is smoothly. Add power up to 4,600. That's all good. Checklist is complete. I hit close. Away we go. Okay, so now I want to get back to my flight software. I just push the iPad main button, and it gives me my options back. And I don't have anything on this iPad except for just my flying stuff. These are dedicated just to the airplane. And I'm back to my flying software. Okay, Gary, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so the next part.
And so I'm able to. There goes Gary. I'll taxi out just so we can watch him take off. And into the sun here, if you can even see him, I don't know, maybe not. And then what I like to do is, on this page, because I'm taking off, and it's a critical phase of flight, I like to have my instruments big. So I just swipe the iPad over, and it gives me just my flight instruments. I don't need the autopilot right now. I don't need the vertical speed. Besides, I have it right here.
We're in south.
Roger. I have it right here. This is vertical speed also. It goes up and down. And then I also don't need traffic on this side. I have traffic here also, which works out real nice. So I can see traffic over there. All right, and here we go. also, I don't have you visual yet, but I'll get you here in a second.
Flying right down 225.
Roger. Now, once I get airborne, I'm kind of in a safe place in flight-wise. I'll swing it back over. Whoops, I went the wrong way. So I get my, all the other stuff I wanted back, like my altitude. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my, I'm going to turn the altitude function on at 3,000. So, and she is going to want to climb right now at 500 feet a minute. Gary's, I show you about 1 mile and 3/4 or so in front of me, and I'm still looking for you.
I'm at 3,100.
Okay, I'm going to level at 3,000, and then I should find you by then. Okay, the airplane just left at 3,000. Okay, I got you in sight. Just leveled at 3,000, so she's accelerating right now. That's telling me about traffic. Showing me traffic at 12 o'clock, 1.3 miles, and he's at 3,069 feet, 183 on the bearing. That's Gary, and I'm actually looking at Gary out the window, so I'm going to back off on the power just a smidge. Okay, and normally I would turn my landing light off and my, I usually do pump 1, and on the first leg I do pump 1 and battery 1, turn those off, and now I have a backup in case anything were to happen to the two that I'm using. When I come back, I'll turn off pump 2 and battery 2. But as far as using the software here, it's really pretty easy. You can see Gary's November 121, Papa Juliet. And it shows him less than 1 mile out, and I'm looking at him out the window here. I don't know if you can see that on the video quite yet. He's just 100 feet higher than me, and I'm slowly gaining on him. But that's pretty much how I use the software. It's so simple. It's just so easy. And the beauty of it is, on this side over here, if you didn't want to have this flight display here, you could actually do a 6-pack if you wanted. One of these days I'm going to set that up and show you that. You could pretty much, like I have a vertical speed down here on the bottom right. Well, you know, I could put in a regular airspeed indicator. Let me show you that. There's an airspeed indicator. I could put that, like I have 3 panels here and 1 panel over here. I could actually have 3 and 3. So I could put an airspeed indicator on top if I wanted. I could put a turning bank. Let's see here. VSI, altimeter. I could put an altimeter, which is right now I'm at 3,000 feet. You just select whatever you want, and it allows you to do it. So you could make yourself a 6-pack if you needed. Even AOA. I don't have it set up to run an AOA right now. You can see it'll show an X there. But if I had it set up for that, I could run an angle of attack. Lately I've been running VSI. Like I said, I've been doing air work, and I like to run that air work. So right now, on this side again, the traffic warning comes up, and it's turned red, because she don't like the fact that I'm as close as I am. 12 o'clock, 0.3 miles. He's at 3,069 feet. I'm at 3,000, so he's 69 feet above me. I'm going to acknowledge that. And it goes away, even though I can still see him right under me. You can see him out the window here. I'm going to stop talking about this stuff for a second, because I'm getting close enough to him. I want to be able to concentrate on flying him. I'm going to turn the autopilot off, because I want to be able to control the altitude a little more freely. Okay, Gary, I'm coming up on your left. I show myself about 0.3 behind you, 0.2.
A little bit of crab today.
Yeah, I was noticing that myself. When you're flying with formation, or loose formation I'll call this, but any formation at all, you really got to be liberal with power. And you got to be pretty aggressive with your power on and off to be able to get what you want as far as speed. You can see I'm gaining.
See you coming.
Yep, right off your left side.
I got you.
You know, you got to be pretty aggressive to, if you start to move forward, you find a slot in your windscreen where you want the guy, and you just keep him in that slot. And whatever power it takes to keep you there, that's what you do, and you got to be aggressive. You got to go get it. And the controls, you want the guy, of course, knowing that you're here. That's why we communicate, hey, I'm coming. And then you just do very, very good formation like this. It's nice on a smooth day like this. Gary's doing a great job, actually, maintaining altitude, making it easy for me. And I start to fall back a little, and then I add a little power, and I get him a little more. We just tighten up just a smidge. There we go. Okay, now I'm messing up. You see I'm getting pretty aggressive on the power. You know, you don't want to lose him, but you don't want him to get too close. All right, I'm going to peel off, and then I'm going to head on to Carrollton. Okay, I'm going to peel off, Gary. And away we go. I put my power back in. All right. This is working out very nicely. We did a little bit of formation, and then I just accelerated away from him to give myself a little bit of room. If I zoom in on this, you'll see that he's starting to be a little bit behind me. I'm showing about
Virgil, are you in the air?
about a half a mile behind me or so. And then I zoom in if I want to see where Carroll County is. Tap on Carroll County and I get information about it, like the frequency, which I'm going to put in the bottom here. 22.7 is the frequency. And I'll have that handy, and then it shows you runway information, all kind of things. You can go direct there, all kind of stuff. I'll just hit close. Let me center my map again. Brings me back to center. The little green button on the edge brings you back to center. I'm the green airplane. The red circle is a glide circle. Shows you how far you can glide if the engine were to quit at this very moment. We're pretty low. We're only at 3,000 feet, which is really only about 2,000 feet above the ground, or not even down here. There's some hills down here, so. Now she's telling me traffic at 6 o'clock and a half a mile behind me. That's Gary. I'm going to acknowledge that. Alright, so I like to zoom in a little bit so I can see a little better. I got a 5-mile ring. There's a green ring there. That's 5 miles. The next one is 10 miles. There's a 2-mile ring. So you can kind of get some scale of where you're at and how you're doing. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Very, very simple system to run. Gives me just a ton of information and capability in the airplane, which is just amazing. I remember back when I was flying the little airplanes before flying, for the airlines, and when I was first learning years and years ago, man, we didn't have any of this. We didn't have any of this capability at all. Everything was steam gauges and what we call steam gauges in the airline industry anyway, and no traffic information. Your traffic information came from your eyeballs, which is still primarily how you want to, find traffic. But the beauty of this is it allows you, it gives you an idea where to look. You'll see traffic on the map long before you can ever see it with your eyes. But then as you approach it and get closer, it gives you an exact direction to look so you can find the guy real easy. It's really helpful. Just for situational awareness, where you are. Used to have to carry a map on your lap, and you had a line drawn on your map, and you were looking for railroads and all that. And I still find myself doing that often, railroads and roads and towns and everything, just to keep track of where you're at. But now the map is right in front of you at all times, and it's always on the right page. There's never no folding or, it's always on the right spot. And on top of that map, you see all the traffic around you. You see your glide ring, how far you can glide, all the distance rings. Plus, above that, you see all your information, altitude, speed, climb and descent rate, right on top of the map. Your destination, Carrollton, is 10 miles away. It's going to take me 4 minutes and 50 seconds to get there. If I descend at 210 feet per minute, starting right now, I'll be at Carrollton's pattern altitude when I arrive there at this speed. It's amazing. All that stuff you had to figure out, before, if you were going to be that precise. But it's just amazing all the things you have. 179 degrees true to get there. It's just really cool. And that's on the map side. And if that iPad were to quit, all that information's available on this iPad. If this one quits, all this information's available on that iPad. It's so much backup. Each iPad has its own battery. They're connected to ship's power, so they're charging while I'm using them. But if we were to lose complete electrical in this airplane, I would have 100% of what I have now, because my AHRS also has its own battery. So the AHRS wirelessly speaks to these iPads, and even if I were to lose all electrical and everything were to go dark, all this would still work. The iPads have their own batteries, the AHRS has its own battery, and I would have, I think, 30 minutes with the AHRS of time to get down on the ground somewhere. Fantastic. So now she's telling me time to descend is 320 feet per minute to get to the traffic pattern. And she's telling me about traffic, a mile and a quarter at 6 o'clock. That's Gary, actually. So let me acknowledge those. Good morning, Carroll County Experimental 601 Kilo Tango's 5 miles to the north. Based on the winds around, I'm going to enter a left downwind for runway 7 at Carroll County. Advise if you guys use something different.
Carroll County 121 Papa Julius, 5 miles to the north, inbound for runway 7, Carroll County.
At Carroll County Experimental 601 Kilo Tango's left downwind, runway 7, Carroll County, full stop. At Carroll County Experimental 601 Kilo Tango's turning left base, runway 7, Carroll County.
Carroll County 121 Papa Juliet, entering for runway 7 on a 45, Carroll County.
At Carroll County Experimental 601 Kilo Tango's turning final, runway 7, Carroll County. Carroll County Experimental 601 Kilo Tango's cleared yet.
Carroll County 121 Papa Juliet, about 57.
Okay, heading back home. I just had a great breakfast with
Carl, I'm going to start off. You'll catch up with me.
Okay, with Gary and Virgil and his son Tim. It was nice to meet him. I hadn't met Tim before. And getting ready to head back to the house. It's going to be pretty bumpy, I think. The winds are gusting out of the east pretty well. So we're going to head on out. much less procedural. This is just a flight to go home. So let me pull this back so we can see a little better. And with that, I think we're ready to go. County, experimental 601 Kilo Tango is on a crosswind. It would be for runway 7, but I'm going to depart your crosswind to the north, Carroll County. Just came up traffic again. The magic box shows me traffic 12 o'clock, 0.4 miles, 32:39, and that's Gary right up there. I don't know if you can see him, but I hope you can see that on the camera. Gary coming right up underneath us. I mean, us right up underneath him. That's pretty cool. It's really cool to fly right up underneath you like this.
Yeah, I lost you on my screen.
I think we're showing as 1 here. I still see you. I'm actually going to circle around a little bit, Gary, and get you in front of me, and then I'm going to go ahead and land behind you, but you just taxi up to the door far enough away that I can open it behind you. Alright, well, almost home. Be there shortly. Showing us 6 miles out, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. I'm going to turn around and let Gary go first, and then I'm going to come in behind him and open the door.
On the ground.
Roger. I'm still 2 miles out. I'll be here shortly.
I'm up in front of the hangar. Gonna be okay where I'm at, Carl?
Yeah, you're good. Alright, here we are, on the ground. Once again, folks, do me a favor, let's see, what is it? Subscribe and share. It helps more people see the video. I don't know if they want to see the video, but you know, hey, maybe. See you next time, guys. Have a good one.